In this video, I'm going to tell you whether or not I think college is a scam. So I'm going to talk to you today about the situation of college in the US. In other countries, it's obviously different. A lot of European countries, the college costs are more socialized, so it's not as big of a burden for individuals to come up with the cost of college as it is in the US. So that's obviously one of the biggest issues in college in the US. The average student comes out with around $36,000 in student loan debt. And this is around, I'm speaking to you in like 2020. So $36,000 is a lot, obviously, for no guarantee of a job, nothing. So you have that huge $36,000 of student loan debt that you have to come out with. And student loan debts, there's very little relief. There's very little policies or procedures that can help you erase the debt. Student loan debts are not, they're not erased by bankruptcy, so they're pretty extreme debts. So we have that issue. Then we also have an issue with around the graduation rate. Around 57% of students graduate within 6 years from college. They earn a degree. That means 43% don't. They get nothing out of it. And the way our society comes out is you can have 110 degrees, 110 credits out of 120 degrees, curriculum, and you get nothing out of it. If you don't complete college, it's not looked upon as, no company generally sees he almost got it. He's almost an engineer. He's almost an accountant. He's almost a business major. So that's one of the issues. It's kind of an all or nothing thing. You have to complete it. If you're watching a movie, you can watch a movie for 75% of it and still enjoy the movie and still get a tremendous amount out of it. But that's not how college is. So you have to complete it, or there's really nothing beneficial from just going partial economically most of the time. And it's a big issue. So we have the completion rate, the graduation rate, we have the cost, and then I want to talk about how many of these people actually earn degrees actually get degrees that are beneficial, that actually can open doors for them, that can get better jobs, that can command a large income. And I would say probably around a third of those degrees, and I did some sparse research on this, so I don't come to you making this video as someone with an immense authoritativeness on what degrees are valuable and which aren't. I'm just looking at this from my perspective. It's my opinion on this, and I don't really know who would be an authority on it, but generally with like money and those kind of things, I'm just going to give you my opinion. So I'd say around a third of the people who earn degrees, those degrees are not deemed significant by our business system here in the U.S. So I'm talking about these are people who earn degrees in things like political science, psychology, philosophy, art, history, government. These kind of degrees, well, there are some applications you can go to graduate school with them, and something like psychology are not going to help you get a job. They're not going to increase your living. So we have about 57% of people who do get degrees, and then 31 or 33% who get kind of the term useless degrees. So you're looking at around 33% plus the 43% who get the degrees that are in things that aren't really significant in terms of income potential. You're looking at close to a third of people get degrees in, have positive outcomes in the college experience. So these are people who get degrees in engineering, nursing, accounting. They go on to graduate school in those subjects. So what I'm getting at is roughly 1 out of every 3, 1 out of every 4, maybe 1 out of every 5 even, have positive outcomes in college. And that's most people don't look at it like that. Most people think college is always a good thing. There's not a lot of people, especially politicians, going around saying, hey, college only works out for about 1 out of 3, 1 out of every 4 people. And that's my opinion. For the average person, college does not benefit. They may learn things, they may develop better social skills, but in terms of income potential, it doesn't help out as many people as I think we'd like to believe. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm getting at. And again, it's mainly because of the graduation rate, the people who actually get degrees in the majors that are valuable, and then also the cost. So again, if you're someone who spent 3.5 years trying to get an engineering degree and failed out, you're not really looked at any differently than someone who just has a high school education. And that's really the alarming thing. And I think there needs to be better policy around this. The stakes are just too high when it comes to college. So, what I would tell any young person thinking about college is, I would definitely say start off at a community college, because there's just the stakes. If you fail at a community college, it's not as big of a deal. And it's generally easier, and it's just generally a better investment, I feel, especially if you want to do something, what I would say a high risk career path is. And I say this is high risk because the fail rates are so high, and which is something like an engineering, computer science. I'd start at community college first. It's probably going to be easier. There's going to be lenient. There's going to be probably more availability for teachers to help you than is a university. And I guess one of the other things I want to talk about the university is you really don't have any rights at a university. And what I mean when I'm saying that is, it feels like a McDonald's employee has more rights and is protected more by the government than a student at a university is. At a university, if a professor can fail basically as many people as they deem fit, you don't have any kind of minimum wage protection. And keep in mind, you also, again, if you don't make it, you get nothing out of it. It's not like you can get a refund. So, based on my experience, I've seen professors fail the majority of students. And yeah, I mean, it's really alarming. They can say you can't work with a tutor because it's cheating. They can do a bunch of things. They can make the exam, extremely difficult, and they know what people are struggling with. So if they see too many people are passing the midterm or something, they can just go back to the 2 or 3 previous finals and see what questions most students got wrong and just stick them on the test. It's to me distressing of how little, power, rights the typical student has, and I kind of feel the typical McDonald's employee almost has more rights than a university student does. But I'll cut the video off there. I'm curious of your opinions on this subject, and again, and to close, I think college is a pretty extremely risky investment, and I'm uncomfortable with. I definitely think community college is the way to go to start off. So that was it for today, and leave your comments below. Thanks.